The phrase Sputnik moment has become ingrained in American culture, symbolizing a sudden realization of being outpaced by a rival and the urgent need for action. This term originates from October 4, 1957, when the Soviet Union successfully launched Sputnik 1, the world's first artificial satellite. The event sent shockwaves through the United States, as has not only demonstrated the Soviet capability in rocket technology, but also raised fears of military and strategic vulnerabilities. In response to this perceived crisis, American policymakers took swift action to close the widening technological gap. One of the most significant outcomes was the passage of the National Defense Education Act, or NDEA, of 1958, which allocated unprecedented federal funding to science, mathematics, and foreign language education. This topic has been the research subject of many historians in the 6 decades since the passage of the NDEA, and there have been two main schools of thought, namely consensus and revisionist critiques of this event. The consensus perspective sees the NDEA as a necessary response to Cold War anxieties, while revisionist scholars challenge this view, arguing that the act served as a tool for ideological and political control. This historiographical divide underscores the complexity of interpreting the NDEA's legacy. The journal articles under examination provide a comprehensive overview of the scholarly debate surrounding the NDEA, incorporating a range of sources to contextualize its passage and impact. These studies draw on both primary and secondary sources to reconstruct the historical narrative. Additionally, the articles engage with a variety of historiographical interpretations, highlighting the evolution of scholarly thought over time. A key strength of Usselman's study lies in its engagement with prominent historians who have shaped the discussion on the NDEA. John Rudolph, Wayne J. Urban, and Robert Devine represent the consensus view, portraying the act as a pragmatic and largely uncontroversial policy aimed at strengthening national security. Their work is grounded in extensive archival research, demonstrating how policymakers framed the act as a necessary response to Soviet advancements in space and technology. On the other hand, revisionist historians such as Christopher P. Loss and Clarence Carriere provide a more critical assessment. They argue that the NDEA was not simply an educational initiative, but a mechanism for reinforcing Cold War ideological conformity. Their work focuses on the political implications of the act, particularly the controversial loyalty oath requirement and the prioritization of technical education over broader intellectual pursuits. In regards to methodology, Rossiter's study employs a balanced approach. Integrating both qualitative and quantitative analysis, it examines statistical data on educational funding and enrollment trends while also analyzing the political rhetoric surrounding the Act's passage. This dual approach allows for a nuanced understanding of the NDEA's impact, capturing both its intended and unintended consequences. In terms of content, this research effectively traces the shifting historiographical landscape, demonstrating how interpretations of the NDEA have evolved alongside broader trends in Cold War scholarship. While early analyses tended to accept the Act's necessity at face value, later studies have questioned its long-term effects on academic freedom and government influence in education. This shift reflects a broader reevaluation of Cold War policies in historical scholarship. The study's conclusions reinforce the idea that the NDEA was both a response to external geopolitical pressures and a reflection of internal political dynamics. While it undeniably expanded educational opportunities in science and technology, it also contributed to the federal government's increasing role in shaping educational priorities. The extent to which this influence was beneficial or restrictive remains a point of contention among historians. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video, and I invite you to go ahead and leave your feedback on it. Thank you.